we had built up this entire theater for them because that was the main location for the film. So we built it up, exactly how the art director and the DP would like it. And then we literally had to move in about a month and a half before the film started filming. So, it was, there were some places that I thought, after they dressed it, I was like, I don't know, it looks too fake, But then after a couple weeks, everything's looked better because they were actually living inside, and it was just like every morning, I wanted them to mostly get used to mentally get used to the daily shooting, because their usual life is that they wake up, have breakfast, and they don't actually do any work until 2 to 4:30 p.m. That's they don't rehearse or anything like that, and then they go off and play mahjong and play cards, and that's the day. So for us, we have to get them ready for 12 hours of days of shooting every single day. So, and a lot of waiting and being aware. And so I had this idea that we would try to do improv games with them. So I brought somebody that actually did that, which was who was my girlfriend at the time. And she was from Berlin. She didn't speak any Chinese, but they had loved her, and it was her job to basically, after breakfast, at 10 a.m. every single morning, to have an hour and a half of sort of just improv games. Some of those games they were like kids, like, kind of like theater games. So it was kind of amazing to watch these, these performers who are like 50, 60, and still being like really, really having a lot of fun with it. So that was my fear, that they would be like, oh, forget this, I'm too old for this garbage, but they actually really loved it. And I think that also it helped that we had a foreigner who was really kind of like likable and was getting them to do this, because I think that if I was myself, they probably wouldn't do it that long. So yeah, every single day, 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., and we would just play those games for as long as they can handle it. And once in a while, I'll watch it for a while, and I'll come in and be like, oh, let's try to do a rehearsal. And we try to put the scene together at the direction, and we just all talk. Like in the beginning, we were all just talking, and we'd read out my script, and then I would let them know, hey, you can change anything, because I write in English and somebody actually translated it to Chinese, so it's not really actable, especially in the dialect that they're in. So I had to really, really let them own those dialogue. And we would do that for the entire month, like, so by the time that we were filming, they had already kind of done those scenes 5-6 times in terms of rehearsal days. So by those days we were filming, I would literally have to say, like, scene 60, and they kind of know exactly what I'm doing. But then the trick is to give them the confidence to say, hey, like letting them know that, because every time we do the rehearsal, I'll change something, just so that they know, they're aware that like everything will always change, so that they would pay attention just to each other, and not to, oh, they have to be here at this moment when somebody says this line, because that's not what I'm interested in. So and that's kind of interesting. I mean, an example would be, we would act this one scene in front of a table, and so to have the seats and the table, that was a comfort for them. And by the time we're filming, if I feel that the scene is too static, or that they've been rehearsed too long, I might take away the table and we'll go do the scene outside. And just because they've done it so many times, they know what I'm trying to accomplish. And usually, their natural instincts as performers, because they are performers, will come through, and kind of combined with this sort of naturalism of improv games.